realistic expectations for success. Now, there's really not a particular order to this, like order of importance. All right, I read this yesterday from Robert Greene. I'll share with you books at the end. But this one line he said, I really enjoyed for yesterday's daily law. Number one, the path to success is not linear. There will be challenges and setbacks. Okay? So if you're starting over in your career, if you're starting over as a trader, if you're starting over in whatever it is, you have to know the path to success is not linear. Success cannot always be rushed. I know some people do get success quickly. That's fine. That's not everybody. That's why I said mostly. Success cannot always be rushed. What's fast doesn't last. What's slow will grow. If you guys remember when you were a wee child, all right, you guys hopefully remember the tortoise and the hare, right? Or the turtle and the rabbit, something to that effect. We all know what happens. The bunny or the rabbit or the tortoise, the hare, they race, right? The slow turtle races the really fast rabbit. And we know what happens. The rabbit, he slacks off. He makes fun of the turtle. He's basically not doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's not focused on the race. He's distracted. And that turtle was going, it's cool. I got this. I'm going to stay here. Don't worry about it. Consistent, right? And so we know how that story ends. The turtle ends up winning the race. Now, obviously, it's a child's story. It's not meant, that's not a real story, but the lesson is there. Okay. What's fast doesn't last. What is slow will grow. Now, not that I really want to get into business too much, not that I want to talk a lot of shit today either, but what I will tell you is this. A lot of businesses look like a bell curve. If you've never seen what a bell curve looks like, it looks just like that. Okay. Now, a bell curve is I believe more so for statistics, like bottom 5%, top 5%, middle 75% or whatever. But when I tell you guys when somebody's equity looks like a bell curve, or when somebody's business looks like a bell curve, this is what I mean. It goes up fast and then it goes down fast. That's not good. That's not what you want. And that's what happens when you rush it. You get a little bit of success and it just goes to shit. That's what happened in my last company. Okay. Gained a lot of momentum. Now it's trash. Number 3. And if you have an ego, this is going to suck for you. There is always someone more or less successful than you. There is always someone more or less successful than you. And I do believe this was Theodore Roosevelt. I could be wrong. That's always on the table. But I believe, and it was Theodore Roosevelt, one of the previous presidents of the United States, who said comparison is the thief of joy. Says Theodore Roosevelt, which means what? It means on your journey as a trader, business owner, entrepreneur, relationship, whatever it is, don't compare yourself to others the wrong way. It's okay to look up to somebody or to look, I don't want to say look down on somebody, but if somebody's doing something wrong, you can look at that as an example of what not to do. I know a lot of leaders and businesses that do that. I know a lot of entrepreneurs that I would not want to be like. There's also a lot of entrepreneurs that I do want to be like. So I compare myself, of course, but in a healthy way. And I have to put this out here because, we got people that join the Discord almost every day. Almost every day, people are coming into the Discord. And they need to know that. You see Edgar, you see Lee Bright, Zay, right, getting funded. You see Trillionaire, other people that are getting sniper entries, taking good trades, and people that come in on day one or they're still within that first 90-day window, they're looking at this like, oh shit, why am I not here yet? you know, and you don't want to compare yourself to someone else, right? I think, how did I say this a long time ago? Don't compare, or someone else said this, and I probably echoed it. Don't compare your chapter 1 or 2 to someone else's chapter 10, or, you know what I mean? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Yeah, these people on Twitter definitely don't want to compare entries with me. I promise you that. Number 4, you know this already, but it has to be said. You must put in the work. Number 4 is you must put in the work. I know you know this, but it has to be said. Why? There is no substitution for putting in the work. There is no substitution for putting in the work. Experience cannot be transferred. The path to success is not linear. Success cannot always be rushed. There's always someone more or less successful than you. Don't compare yourself to others if you want to shorten that. You must put in the work because experience cannot be transferred. Number 5. Number 5 is rest and recover appropriately. You're allowed to take time off. Burnout is less efficient. Okay. Now I won't spend too much time on this one because I do go over this often. Rest and recover appropriately. You're allowed to take time off, and burnout is less efficient. This is like the hustle culture. I definitely, don't agree with everything that's over there because it's been proven by science. It's been proven by, people that are a lot smarter than I am. Your production, your efficiency, your decision-making ability, okay, all gets hindered if you do not rest and recover appropriately. If you are burnt out, you're not going to perform optimally. This is also in the Cream de la Cream videos. Well, I think both of them, right? Rest and recover appropriately, not just your body, but your mind as well. It was Seneca who said something along the lines of that. Our minds need time off to rest and recover, but not so much that they lose their sharpness, but take some time off, bro. Take a vacation. Some people are like, oh, I don't drink any alcohol, or you should never drink any alcohol. Well, first of all, Jesus turned water into wine. So, unless you know better than Jesus, alcohol is okay in a very small amount. All right. So we'll put it to you that way. Number 6, don't try for home runs. Get the base hits instead. I like baseball analogies, sports analogies, at least. I've said this for years and years, and I'll continue to say it. There are athletes out there. There are baseball players out there who make millions of dollars and barely ever do home runs, but they get on base. They get on base. There was a movie about that. I think it's called Moneyball. So how do you do that? How do you get base hits instead of swinging for the fences? I tell you guys from time to time, I'm like, oh, this trade, I'm trying to swing for the fences. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Number 6, right? Which means break down large goals into small goals. Okay. I don't always catch 200 pip trades. Okay. 20, 30, that's fine. 50 on some of those cross pairs, that's fine. Because that's going to add up versus trying to swing for that GJ earlier this year, that 500 pip move or whatever. I didn't catch all that. And that's not always going to be that way. Small goals, and this is in Atomic Habits by James Clear, which I believe is book of the month for January, so you should be reading that already, but I know some of you don't, and that's just how it is. So I'll tell you, small goals create momentum. This is how I know a lot of this stuff. Number 1, been here, done that. That's first and foremost. But number 2 is I also read, and I try to get you guys to read too. And I know you don't. Not everybody, at least. But that's okay. I'm not going to let you fail. I'm not going to let you fail. So I'll give you the short and sweet version from time to time. So hopefully you can appreciate that. Winners and losers have the same goals, but winners have systems. Yeah. Yeah. Archie Locus said, we We don't rise to our expectations. We fall to the level of our training. That's Archilochus. James Clear kind of like took it a little bit, and everybody thinks it's James Clear. We don't rise to the occasion. We fall to the level of our systems. I mean, it's Archilochus, bro. You wonder why I put you guys on the Stoic philosophy and all that, because none of these guys are new. I love James Clear. I have nothing against the guy. Atomic Habits is a wonderful fucking book, but he did not create that. This is all from philosophers, bro. Same shit with Jim Rohn and Bob Proctor and all these other people. It's like, this is not new information. This is not new. You guys wonder why I put you so far back into the Stoics, because that's where it came from. You know, just like in my book, a lot of the smart money shit, where it came from. Everybody thinks, oh, ICT created all this shit. No, he didn't. But we're not going to get in. That's another rabbit hole. We're not doing that today. Number 7, celebrate the wins. I was having a conversation last night, and this is what I was explaining. I'll do this in here today. You got to celebrate the wins. Reward yourself along the journey. Reward yourself along the journey. So let me just pause here and kind of explain this one a little bit more. What I mean by rewarding yourself along the journey, let's say we were talking about money last night. So let me use that. Let's do this. Let's put, not together per se, but watch this. Number 6 and 7 kind of go together. Meaning, if we break down large goals into small goals, which we do that because it creates momentum. And if you reward yourself along the journey, this is kind of what that looks like. Let's say you're trying to save money. Let's say you are trying to save money. All right. It's going to be a staircase like this, sort of like that. Try to envision this for a minute. Imagine for a second. I'm going to make a video on this, but it's not going to be today. Let's imagine for a second that your goal is to save $10,000. 10K is a lot of money when you're broke. Okay. 10K is not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. It's not. It's only a lot if you don't have it, because it's perspective. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm saying, imagine your goal. Okay. This would be the large goal. The large goal is 10K. Along the way, you have obviously 7,500, 5K, and I'd say probably 2,500, and then maybe like 1,000 down here. So what I'm saying is, you've got mile markers. You don't just, all right, my goal's 10K, and now, you know, I'm putting $100 into this, and it seems insignificant. Well, if you look at it that way, it's going to be. But you need goals, okay? So watch this. If I had to do this all over again, this is exactly what I would do. You put $100, $200 away every 2 weeks or every month or whatever have you, okay? Not financial advice by any means, but if I did this over again, this is what I would do. I'd say, okay, I'm gonna put $200 a month or $300, whatever you can afford, away. As soon as I get to $1,000, great. So that next 2-week paycheck or that next month, whatever, I'm going to reward myself here. It could be simple and easy. It could be a cigar, if you like that. It could be a bottle of tequila, if you like that. It could be a book haul, right? You could go to the Amazon cart and buy 4, 5, 6 books, get a bunch of books for the next quarter. That could be celebrating. It could be dinner with your significant other or your family or whoever. It doesn't even have to be expensive. It could be $50, you know, $100, maybe like $200 to celebrate that small win. But don't dig into the 1,000. You get to 1,000, don't go to 800. Get your 1,000, then get to 11, maybe 1,200. Use that, right? And then so that's what I'm saying. I would reward myself at every mile marker: 1,000, 2,500, 5K, 7,500. And then 10K. And then that 10K, that's going to be the good celebration. That's going to be like, we got here, we're actually putting something together, probably like a nice dinner, and to have like a really good weekend. Probably all of it. Nice dinner, cigar, bottle, books, and really do it that way. Because you see what this does? It's momentum. That's what it's about. Okay? It's about getting those large goals, but creating, or you do that by completing the small goals along the way. Okay? Now this is not just for saving money. This is for trading as well. Okay? This is for business as well. It's just like memberships here. You think I started off with 130 or however, I don't know what the number is now. I think it's like 130 or 133 members. You think we got here in like a month? No. We got in the beginning, we got 5, maybe like 1 the next day, none the next day, because it's like a Sunday. Nobody joins on a Sunday. Everybody's at church, right? Right, Beverly? Everyone's at church? Yeah. So Monday comes along, maybe get like 1 or 2, right? And so over time, you get over 100 members. Over time, you build businesses. Over time, you can grow equity. None of this should be like brand new to you, but every once in a while, we have to be reminded. Every once in a while, we need that. We need the basics, We got to go back to Genesis sometimes. If I know this is a lot of text, but if you're a visual person, if you need like something to look at or something to draw, you can draw this, okay? This is where you start, okay? The starting point to anything is the planning stage, all right? Now, I told this to someone the other day, and I'm going to tell it to you as well. And I've been part of this before. Planning is very important. Planning is very important. You need your trade plan. You need your business plan, right? Plans are great. Your blueprint, strategy, whatever, that's fine. But I've done this, and I think I see a lot of people do this too, is they spend too much time at the planning stage, the daydreaming stage, right? Oh, this is the car I want. This is the house I want. This is the whatever. And they spend a lot of time on that. I think you need this. You need the plan. But you can't spend all day daydreaming. That was me in high school. I spent all day daydreaming about Call of Duty, women, and the Matrix. Okay? Like that was all that I did in high school. All right. I spent a lot of time in the planning stage. Spend a little bit of time here. Get your plan. You know what you want. Everybody knows what they want. If you don't, you probably need to see a professional. But all of us have goals and dreams, right? You need that. But you have to go out and execute. You need that. Plan it out, but then go and execute. After, okay, the longest amount of time is going to be between the execution stage. This is where you're going to spend most of your time. Okay? Like, if we had to put numbers on it, I would say a very, like 1% of your time is going to be here. It's quick, whatever. The execution stage, this is probably going to be about 80%, 85% of your time is going to be the execution. You're doing the work. You're printing off the charts. You're dropping a like on the stream. You're reading the books. You're tuning into the live streams. You're tuning into the market reviews. Doing the actual work that it takes. You're executing. After a while, okay, the reward, you could spend a little bit of time here. You could probably spend 5%, 6% of your time in here. Okay. Reward yourself, rest, relax. That, is right there. Okay. And I don't know what the percentage is because I'm a little bit lost on it, but 86, so like 14. All right, whatever. The rest is going to be in the evaluation stage. So what does evaluate mean? This is the evaluation is the look back. You're going, okay, it's the beginning of 2024. We're right at the end of January, but it's like, okay, we're at the beginning of 2024. Let's evaluate 2023. Did we grow our trading accounts? Did we grow our wealth? Did we fix our credit? Did we purchase a membership to this channel, to this YouTube channel? Did we join the Discord? Did we do all the things we needed to do? You're evaluating what you're doing now and what you've done. So that way you can see where the holes in your ship are at. And then you go, okay, well, I printed charts like once a week. I didn't print charts every day, but I printed once a week. Okay, well, you did something, but you need to up that. So how are you going to do that? Plan it out. All right, I'll set a reminder that as soon as John is done streaming, I'll print off a chart. Done. There's your chart printing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, right at the end of every stream. Or at the beginning, whatever you want to do. You plan that out and then go, okay, cool. Now we're back to execution, doing the work, printing off the charts. Reward yourself, evaluate, plan, and then it's just an endless cycle after that. Here's a really big thing too, because we're not done. We're almost done, but we're not done yet. Number 8 is the last one. And then I'll give you the 5 books that you can read every day for more wisdom. Okay? I've released this already, but I'll give it to you anyway for a little extra razzle dazzle. All right, number 8. This is a big one. Don't miss this. Okay? I think the other ones were great, but this part right here, don't miss this. Number 8. Don't expect people to agree with what you're doing. This is your family, this is your friends, this is your coworkers. Okay? Everyone isn't going to support you. They're not going to support what you're doing. People will doubt you until you succeed. I was going to say win, but I think succeed is a better word. Don't expect people to agree with what you're doing. Everyone isn't going to support you. People will doubt you until you succeed. Do you know how many people sometimes still say that the markets are unpredictable? Even though we're in here every week. This entire time, the last 9-10 years, because I've been doing this since 2014. Okay? And I was trash my first couple years, okay? But even that entire time, I was saying, look, you should learn how to trade. You should learn the markets. You know, you should save for a rainy day. My mom said to quit trading and then I got funded. That's what I'm saying, Zay. That's what I'm saying. Until that first withdrawal comes in, they're going to doubt it. This entire time, I've always been loud about trading, all on social, like everybody knows me. That's how I got known. That's how I got invited to Trade House, because I was just on the internet calling moves in advance. You know, I was doing shit that nobody else could do. Well, almost nobody else could do. And people doubted it. And then what do I, look at me now, bro. What do? Sit at home all fucking day. I don't go anywhere and clock in. I don't put on a uniform and clock in. Right? Oh, now everybody. Can you teach me how to trade, bro? I know you tried to put me on like 4 or 5 years ago. But now, like, oh, now I'm ready. Now you're fucking ready? After I had to do all this? It took me 4 or 5 years to convince you to do this? People are going to doubt you until you win. So don't expect it. Now, if they support you, great. That's a good thing. But don't expect it, is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It could be your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, whatever. It could be your best friend. Oh, that's a scam. Trading's a fucking scam. All right, well, then just don't talk to them about trading. Talk to them about everything else. But when it comes to trading, tell them, look, respectfully, you don't know a fucking thing. I got this. Don't worry about it. And I know that's probably not a very stoic thing to say, but it's true though. It's like, bro, you think I let people tell me that the markets can't be predicted? Here's the last thing and then we'll hop off. 5 daily books for wisdom. Now, this is a weird list, and there's a reason I made it this way, because not everybody's going to agree with this list. And that's fine. You can take it or leave it. Just like not everybody agrees with 48 Laws of Power. But that's because they don't understand. They're like, oh, that book's immoral. I'm like, once again, speaking about shit that they don't know about. 5 books for daily wisdom. Again, this is a weird list, but I'm going to explain it to you. Number 1 is The Daily Stoic, obviously, from Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. Number 2 is Daily Laws by Robert Greene. 3 is A Calendar of Wisdom by Leo Tolstoy. Number 4 is The Maxwell Daily Reader by John Maxwell. Maxwell's in the name, so you should be able to get that. And then New Morning Mercies by, I think it's Paul David Tripp. So there it is. 5 books for wisdom every single day. Daily Stoic, Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. Daily Laws by Robert Greene. A Calendar of Wisdom by Leo Tolstoy. The Maxwell Daily Reader, that's leadership. And number 5, New Morning Mercies by Paul David Tripp. Now, let me tell you why this list is weird and why not everybody's going to agree with it. Because Daily Stoic, that is obviously Stoic philosophy. Daily Laws by Robert Greene. Robert is controversial because of his 40 Laws of Power and other shit, right? Number 3, Calendar of Wisdom by Leo Tolstoy. I think it was it Russian or something else? Anyway, there's a unique story behind it. But anyway, even like Leo, he like quotes philosophers, but he also quotes the Bible and quotes basically general wisdom. And people might not like that. The Maxwell Daily Reader, nothing controversial about that. But then here's the thing. So number 5, New Morning Mercies by Paul David Tripp is a Christian book. Okay? It's like a number 1 Christian bestseller or whatever. So this is why I could see, like, if you actually knew what's in here, this would be a weird list to you. You'd be like, John, well, wait a minute. You're telling me about stoicism, leadership, and Christianity, right? Which obviously is not going to sit well with everybody. But that's the point. Like, I can guarantee, I promise you, if you read like Daily Laws and then you read like a Christian book, they are going to be, it's not going to work. They're not going to blend in. Now, why would I do that? Why would I tell you to read authors or maybe subjects that contradict with each other? Why would I tell you to do that? It's because you need to learn how other people think. You may not agree with everything Robert Greene says. You may not agree with everything that Christians say. You may not agree with everything in the Daily Stoic. You may not agree with the things that John Maxwell has to say. I haven't found anything that John Maxwell, like, I haven't agreed with. The guy is awesome, but I'm just saying, it's a list that is, you're going to find contradictions. Well, Robert said this, but Paul said this. That's the point. You can challenge your current way of thinking, solidify your current way of thinking, or maybe find something new that you didn't know. That's the point. Alex C says, I don't introduce people to trading lightly. It's taken me on a life journey, changing parts of myself. Most are willing to press buttons, but most can't withstand the process of changing themselves. Wow. Alex, I got to pin that. That's genius right there. Most are willing to press buttons, but most can't withstand the process of changing themselves. That's a fucking bar. See, this is what the community is all about. Contributing to the greater cause. You know what I mean? Do you love this stuff? Do you love this stuff? So with that being said, hopefully you got some value out of this. And that's it. Realistic expectations for success.